A while back I heard the saying, the world can only see us as we see ourselves. I thought that was really interesting because I asked myself the question, well, how does the world see me? The world sees me as. You can ask that question, the world sees me as a great person, the world sees me as whatever, an idiot, a loser, bad person, criminal. Or the world sees me as a saint, the world sees me as an awesome person, the world sees me as an educator, a great person. Ask yourself that question, how does the world see me? Even more important than that, ask yourself the question, how do I see myself? Because the message of this video is, how we see ourselves is how the world sees us. And the way we've been habitually programmed to see ourselves by the external environment, by our family, by those who love us, by our friends, by co-workers, by the culture we're born into, we can be programmed to believe in a certain way, and feelings in a certain way about how we perceive ourselves. And by asking that questions, and you can do it yourself. You can do it right now. You can go, I see myself as, and just let your mind pop up a thought or a feeling to fill that gap, finish that sentence. I see myself as, and there you go. You've got a little key to understanding a small part of your unconscious mind, because your unconscious mind will fill that gap and give you a clue to how you see yourself. How we see ourselves is how the world sees us. That's always a good dictum or a good reference point to come back to this concept and go, how am I seeing myself right now? How is the world seeing me? Is the world seeing me in a positive way? Am I seeing myself in a positive way? Am I seeing all my strengths, my positive abilities, or am I only focused on the negatives, the bad things that I've done in the past? Maybe everyone makes mistakes. The good things I've done in the past. Where is our focus? Because as you recall, in other videos I've talked about, we can kind of really only focus on one thing at a time. And when we focus on one thing, we delete everything else. We can't see everything else around us. The world can only see us as we see ourselves. But this is a day-to-day thing as well. How we go out, how we see ourselves every day is how the world sees us. But then again, you've got to understand that we're only one little molecule in a huge sea of molecules, or we're only one person in around 4 billion people plus in the world. So the way the external world is sort of operating and what's going on in the external mainstream culture, the media, is trying to tell us how we should perceive ourselves through advertising, what models are wearing. There's so much going on that's saying you're not good enough as you are. If you watch a media advertisement or you read a newspaper, there's always things saying you need to buy something, you need to buy this product or service in order to feel better about yourself. So there's that acting on you on a conscious and unconscious level. Pretty much most people aren't aware of it. Some people are, and you're probably aware of it because you're watching this video. You're kind of an open-minded person. Thus, it's up to us to find out how we perceive ourselves, how we see ourselves, and then let that give us a clue as to how the world sees us. And then, if we choose to, we can go and change the way we see ourselves, and that's possible. You can do my program, Positive Emotional Healing, or this. You can start that process of introspection and improving your self-growth and increasing your self-knowledge in order that you can subtly change the way you see yourself. If that's a problem for you, it may not be a problem for you. You may be happy with the way you see yourself. You may be happy with how you perceive the world sees you. It's really up to you. But if it's a problem for you, if you feel like you're not doing as well as you should in your work, in your relationships, in your life in general, then maybe come back to that. How do I perceive myself? How do I see myself? How does the world see me? And so instead of trying to change the world, maybe come back and change the way you see yourself. And there's many, many ways to do that. It's a wonderful journey to start. I guess the first step is having the awareness that perhaps the way you see yourself is not the way you want to see yourself. The way you see yourself is a way that's been programmed into you since birth, in your DNA. Culturally, people see themselves in different ways. Some people are born thinking that they're God's gift to humanity. Some people are born with extreme amounts of shame. Depending on their culture, depending on their circumstances, it's just what makes the universe as it is. What makes life as it is and humanity as it is. Humanity doesn't just have what's going on today. It has the baggage of its past, what's handed down culturally, handed down historically to peoples. Thank you so much for listening. I hope I gave you some great value. Positive emotional healing. This is Roger McDonald. Have a fantastic day today. Hope you can see yourself in a better way if you need to.